So let's get it going. We are joined by Jim Riggs, who is from Toledo, Ohio, who came to North Texas as a grad student and met Phil Kelly in the early 70s. And let's just start right there, Jim. The people that are going to watch this video know all about you,
Huh.
but
Well, 69 is when I came here from Toledo. And we were talking about the last time Phil Kelly, where he was from. So I think my wife's family is from Canton.
Yes,
He was from Canton, right?
that's
yes,
right.
So we
absolutely.
he and I had talked about that and laughed about it for so long because he had already been to Dallas and here the newbie shows up. And any rate, I first met him at Lou Marini had a rehearsal band that I was lucky enough to be asked to play in, and he was always a very good friend uh, through the years. But anyway, he asked me to play lead alto in it, and it was made up of all the very best guys that were in Dallas, and somehow I was accepted in that group of people, and so I was on all of the top gigs that were in Dallas during those times. And I've talked about it with Jay Saunders, and we both say it's all that those times were almost like a dream. Uh, and Phil Kelly was playing drums in that band. Don Thomas was playing lead trumpet, and like I said, all the best players across the board. Uh, and that darn Phil Kelly playing in that thing. I mean, I didn't know Phil Kelly like the first time I went. It was a place called the Villager, I believe, and it was in downtown Dallas. And we played every week for as long as it was, probably around 3 years. And when it was over, we would go over to Joe Randazzo and Lou Marini had a they were renting a big house there in Dallas. So we would have a round table, they called it, and go over there. Anyway, this isn't about Phil Kelly. I was going to bet Phil Kelly playing with that band was it just made you smile every time because he was sort of an open kind of a drummer. What I mean by that is whatever he played, it was well placed and it was spread out. It wasn't like I sort of described Buddy Rich as he's a all of his drumstick beats are real tight and they happen one right after another, almost like a drum roll, whatever it was tight. Well, Phil Kelly, because he didn't have a whole lot of chops, like a drummer would be, but it was just so musical and gorgeous. It just every time it just fit perfectly and made you want to play right where you were supposed to play. He was I always wonder about his chops as far as playing piano. Did he have a lot of piano background too? To
Not
me,
really. I mean, he played it, but I mean, it wasn't his instrument at all.
sure.
Yeah, I have pictures in college where he filled in because
Yeah.
the piano player didn't show up, so
Yep.
he was easily could find another drummer, but so he had to play the piano that night,
I'll
and
be darned. Yeah.
yeah,
Anyway, that background, and he's obviously was so adept at everything that Bach wrote and all of the great musicians, composers, and writers in the past. I mean, because that's how he wrote. I mean, he wrote. I had told him, couple different times when I was talking to him, I said, "Man, you're like a present day Bach." Everybody just absolutely loves every piece that you write and want to play it over and over again. And that that Sweet Georgia Upside Down, you guys mentioned that to me one time before, but that was one of the tunes that we had in not only in the 1 o'clock lab band that I was in, But also in the Liz Lou Marini's band at the Villager, we had that chart and we played every darn week. We played it. And it
Wow.
was everybody's favorite darn tune. And the recording of the 1 o'clock lab band, I had dug that out just to give it a listen because I hadn't listened to it for so long. But I'm playing lead alto on that, and I'm real proud of it. I love to play that tune every single time, you know. And we played it a lot, and then Doc Severinsen played it too on his gigs,
Mhm.
and it was thrilling. And then the two pictures that I had sent you that showed Phil Kelly playing in the rhythm section uh, with Doc, and you know, I'm not sure how many of those gigs there were, but there were quite a lot of them, and it was like we would go to wherever we're supposed to meet Doc for the gig, you know, in a hotel or motel. And then when you open the door to the thing, you walk in, and all right, first thing you heard was Doc Severinsen in the basement warming up. And he had this, and the whole band would go down or get on the elevator or go down to that room where Doc Severinsen, and we would just stand around the room listening to him, and he would play long tones uh, until he couldn't hold them any longer. I mean, he would take one note, they were the
Oh.
high, medium, or low, and he would play that note until he was out of air. And he was almost shaking because he was out of air. And
Wow.
you know, Phil Kelly was in on all that, and it was amazing to hear that's how he kept his chops hot. And then
Wow.
that Sweet George Upside Down was also in the book for the Johnny Carson show, and you know they played that one time that I got to hear them, so that was pretty neat.
We're gonna
Doc,
have to find that for sure. Did
yeah,
you when you those times that you traveled with Doc to you said you flew on planes.
sure.
Yeah. And did Phil write stuff for Doc too? He had some arrangements for
I would guess so, but you know what? I know that Sweet George Upside Down was for sure in the book, and it was in on the Tonight Show too book. So I'm not
that's
positive about how many that he would have written, but it would seem like. And then there's that thinking about those two photos that I sent you, uh, and one of them shows Phil Kelly sitting in the rhythm section, uh, in the back there, and he laughed about that and said that he wanted me to get credit for being the guy that had showed proof that he actually played the drums someplace, you know.
yeah.
It was you know, it was one of the Doc Severinsen gigs that everybody played, you know, everybody. I mean, the people that played in there, and it was all the first called dudes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, the whole band is, yeah, the whole band is listed there because you can see everybody. The only people you can't see is Ernie Chapman, who's the bass player, and the guitar player. His name, they called him Bobby T, but his name was Bobby Thomas. And
Bobby
he's
Thomas.
behind, those two guys are behind Doc Severinsen. And so you can't see those two. And also oh geez, the great piano player. Fred,
Crane.
yeah, Fred Crane.
Wow.
He played all those jobs. And George Sherb was the contractor on every one of them. And so he those two guys, the trumpet section, I can just read it from the left to the right. This is all-star trumpet section. And the weird thing, well, it's John Anderson was the best jazz trumpet player here. He played with Stan Kenton's band back in the 50s, I guess. But he was just a marvelous. And then George Chirp, and then Don Thomas, and the last guy was Joe Rodriguez, who was the guy that played lead trumpet in the 1 o'clock band. So,
Wow.
this whole band is all made up of the first call guys, and then a few of the first call guys from North Texas, and I guess I was one of them. So,
Who were the trombone players, Jim? I'm a trombone player.
John, it's uh, John Osborne, Dick Cole playing lead, and Dave Robertson. Robertson was the bass trombone. The saxophones, jazz tenor was Billy Ainsworth. Larry Rozalowski played second alto. Jim Riggs played lead alto. Ron Helvey, who was from the 1 o'clock band, played fourth tenor, and Harvey Anderson played the baritone.
Awesome.
So
That is an
Yeah.
all-star lineup for sure.
Unbelievable band.
oh, for us. I mean, those were the first call guys. And
Well-
those are the guys in that picture. And not only that, I know I told you, but I know that Bill Collins has at least 2 recordings up from that night with that same picture of that same band.
Excellent. Well, we know that you moved on and you actually became the professor of saxophone after you finished your
Yeah.
graduate studies.
Yeah, as I've told a million people, I was just in the right place at the right time. And I was a student at North Texas, and I was working my ass off to be as good as I could. And I was studying with John Giordano, and I practiced my butt off for his lessons so that I walked in there. I knew I could just nail it, And so, his recommendations carried a lot of weight for my ability in both playing at North Texas and also playing in Dallas. So at any rate,
And that led to some recording gigs with Phil.
yeah, but not only that, but I mean, when I say I was in the right place at the right time, because I'm going to say at least 3 years, 69, 70, and 71, those 3 years, something like that, I was taking lessons from John Giordano, and then he became the conductor of the Fort Worth Symphony, which was amazing. And so, because all of the faculty at North Texas knew me because of those 3 years of putting in my time, and being in the 1 o'clock lab band and everything. And so anyway, I applied for the job, and I got Giordano's job. And so my whole thrust then from then on was just, as I continued as a saxophonist and woodwind player, but I was at North Texas teaching the great saxophone students that were there. And so I wasn't one of the guys that would be on all of the recording sessions in Dallas, but I was on some of them when it was time, I guess, for me to be there. But so I was at TM sometimes,
Okay.
playing for Phil Kelly's sessions, but I wasn't. I'm not trying to come on as though I was a regular in the studios, because I was not. I was a regular in North Texas teaching my load.
Of
But
course.
then I played with the Fort Worth Symphony and the Dallas Symphony. The Dallas Symphony made a trip to Europe for 7 countries, and I was in the sax section for that, and that has nothing to do with Phil Kelly, though. I guess I branched out into just talking about me.
Oh, that's
No,
okay, but
no, it's all right.
but we know that you later became the 2 o'clock lab band director for 20
Yeah.
years, and we know
Yeah.
that you have a connection with Phil Kelly with
That's
that.
right. During those times, it was unbelievable. I mean, Phil, we talked on the phone a whole lot, and like he used to say that he was using my 2 o'clock band, and then Jay Saunders took over the 2 o'clock after I did, and he continued on doing it with Jay, but to sort of using the 2 o'clock band as a template to hear hear what his tunes were,
Yeah.
what how
Yeah.
his writing was going, and so he would always send us the most, and then we would play them, and we would play them in concerts, and also record. And we recorded at least four of them I saw today. I looked on my old CDs and I
Mhm.
saw.
I saw on the Best of the Big O, there was the refrigerator.
Oh yeah, I forgot that one. Yeah, that's a
And
doozy. That's
That's
a
a good
yes,
one.
indeed.
Pete Chris
And
Lee
on
played that. Yeah, Pete played that one too on the
Yeah.
CD. And
Avenue C, you had Blue Lonius.
right,
It's a
slow
good
And
one.
ballad. I mean blues, slow blues.
yes. Oh,
Mhm.
Blue
and
Loney.
then on the same album, Pleading Diminished Capacity.
Yeah,
That's a great one.
that was
That's
a
My
one of my
tough one. And that
favorite.
favorites.
one really shows that I listened to that. I listened to those tunes this morning because I knew you were going to ask me about it. But and those are the two, You and the Night and the Music and the Pleading Diminished. Those two tunes really showed his abilities in box category because he wrote counterpoint in there that was just
Yes.
magnificent.
Hmm.
How those lines matched up and how they weaved in and out of each other
Mm,
was really fantastic music.
And
And
on Bruce Hall, there was his arrangement of Janine.
yeah, that's right.
mhm,
That was Cannonball recorded that.
mhm.
And
Uh,
on the Denton, Texas Jazz Giants, there was Playtonic Buds.
well, now that one I didn't find today, but yeah, we did. I remember that one.
Yes,
I'm
indeed.
gonna
And
listen.
also, we in Phil's computer, we found an arrangement of My Funny Valentine. We're not sure
Oh
if
yeah,
he
we
had
played
that.
that one. Yeah, the 2 o'clock played that one, and
Okay.
it was very difficult. It was like Dave Zoller. It was long and it's just fantastic. I mean, it's in Phil Kelly's category of being truly outstanding. You don't ever get tired of listening to that.
No. It,
Basically, what he did was he transcribed Bill Evans, the great piano player, Bill Evans. He played that tune, and Dave Zoller transcribed his solo off of that record, and then he wrote an arrangement using those lines that were
Wow.
the exact same lines. It wasn't just that, it was along with his own artistry. So I went in and out of Bill Evans's. It's just really something to listen to. It's amazing. At any rate,
so
that
how would
Phil.
you could you compare Phil Kelly to Dave Zoller? Is there a
Well,
comparison?
I know they were very close friends. I mean, they were the two best writers in Dallas, for positive sure. And Dave Zoller also was a guy that could play Count Basie piano, and so we always had rehearsal bands, lots of rehearsal bands over the years, and he would be the piano player playing. He was everybody's favorite pianist because he was an outstanding, jazz pianist, but he could also play the Basie stuff, and it'd be just like Count Basie was sitting over there. He was flawless at Basie. He was a real artist, and Captain Weird. Everybody called. He had a little weird personality, I guess, but everybody called his nickname was Captain Weird, and
Yes.
it was just because of the way he was. But
Did
very,
Phil have a nickname?
huh?
Did
A
Phil have a
nickname?
nickname?
Well, I'm not sure if not that I recall. Oh,
Okay.
know about that.
We've heard Funky Phil
Yeah.
and Filthy Phil.
Oh, Filthy Phil for sure. Yeah, Filthy Phil was part of it. It always was. Way back, going out back to the beginning with Fred Crane and the beginning of the year, he was Filthy Phil.
Yeah.
He would
Did
be
you
he would be on on all those gigs with Doc Severinsen. I mean, you got to call Doc Severinsen. I bet I might have Doc Severinsen's phone number on my list.
Oh,
Never have called.
Oh, please. We've been
I mean,
looking everywhere.
well,
We've
let's
been
see.
looking
We'll
everywhere.
see if I have it. I don't know if I do or don't.
we talked with Paul Lime last week, and Paul's friends with Doc, and Paul says that in the last couple of years, Doc hasn't responded to him.
Huh.
And we're we know that Doc's getting up there in age, and we would love to talk to him, but yes, if oh my
Look, let's see
gosh,
if I got it. It seems like I have it. I'm just yapping along here.
Yeah.
well, if you do find it, and you want
Yeah,
to share with
I
us,
don't. Yeah, I don't have it.
it's
All right.
okay.
Yeah.
We've
You
gotten
know what?
close a bunch of times.
Hey, Jim, as far as we're concerned, you're just as good as Doc.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
brother, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm a
My
kid. I'm a kid.
my
You
my
guys are
my dad
kids.
mentioned your name a lot more than he mentioned Doc Severance. You and Dave
Really?
Zoller and Randy Lee. I mean,
Right.
just over and over and over,
Yeah. Randy and I played all million gigs together, and including we played gigs with oh, for crying out loud. We played gigs with everybody.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He and I were the first guys that would be in the sax section. But wow, no, my mind went blank. I'm an old.
Hmm.
Oh.
Hey, you guys are
Yeah.
youngsters. Youngsters.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Gosh
I
darn
you
it.
know, I we it took us a long time to get a hold of you, and man, it
Really?
sure was worth it. It really
Yeah, it
was.
really was.
Well, I hope so. I mean, a
Just
lot of,
don't just don't touch your settings on your computer and you can do anything with Zoom now.
oh, well, I
One
don't
of
know
these
what to do
days,
with Zoom. Yeah.
we're planning on one of the things we want to do later on. We talked about this earlier, was to have some tribute concerts with some of the local jazz bands around here. And like I told you, the scores for all Phil's scores are at North Texas right now.
Huh.
And once we can figure out how we can get copies of those scores, we want to share those with the local bands and start having some concerts. And
Be great.
but another thing that we'd like to do is to maybe have a Zoom round table with a bunch
Yeah.
of you guys all at one
Yeah.
time.
That'd be good. That'd
And
be a
we could
lot of
even
fun. It'd be
arrange
like a
it so
party.
that they're actually sitting it like you're on the concert stage in your correct position. So all the saxophonists will be in the front row and the trumpets would be in the back.
That'd
That'd
be
be
nice.
awesome.
Wow.
But those are just plans. But yeah, we're happy to just take what we can get
Yeah,
because
that's good.
your
That's
information
about
is
it.
precious.
Huh?
Your
That's
information is precious to us.
well, good. That I'm glad to hear it. I was afraid that it wouldn't be enough, but I mean, I spent a lot of time with Phil, and he was he was a marvelous individual, and I everybody loved Phil Kelly and me too. I mean, everybody you're going to talk with their friends with Phil Kelly for life. I mean, he's a friend of mine forever. He's with me always. I love that
Awesome.
guy. Just loved him.
Awesome. Well, and his memory is going to live on in your music that you made with him.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
That stuff's not going to go away. It's going to be
I-
around forever.
Yeah, I'm going to I'm going to listen to him again. You've recharged my. I've already listened to 4 of them this morning, and I'm going to find the other ones. Anyway,
Well,
good talking with you.
oh, absolutely. If it's okay, Jim, do we have your permission to feature some of those 2 o'clock tunes on our website?
Oh, of course, yeah, sure.
Excellent. All right. Well, we'll just make
Yeah, and
sure that we know
absolutely,
when.
if you want to listen to a bunch of stuff, Jim, go on to the website. We have everything listed from the jingles to the
Yeah,
TM days to
yeah.
big band stuff and just on and on and on.
Orchestra stuff. And one
Yeah.
for the Zales commercial, I'll never forget. First time I heard that, I was into it and then all of a sudden it comes out Zales at the end, and you just about
hmm
Or,
It's
you
on
know,
there also.
yeah. I'm
Yeah, we
sure
have
it
those
is.
commercials on there
I
also.
mean, he could have been, I called and said, man, you could be writing for Barbara Streisand and Tony
Yeah.
Bennett and Frank Sinatra, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, that's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. All
Yeah.
right. Good talking with you.
Thank you,
Thank
Jim.
you.
I appreciate
You
it very
guys.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to
Yes,
meet you
sir.
guys both. Bye.
We'll talk to you soon.
See you later.